What's going on here?
I am a little used to it, yeah.
I'd like to thank Acme, your favorite local supermarket, for sponsoring our performance room. Usually, we took the performance room out on the road today to welcome Tenille here to our Broadcast Pioneers Lunch. So let's talk a little bit about where you're from. So tell us a little bit about Saskatchewan. How far is that?
Well, it's right above North Dakota. It's right in the middle of Canada. And I grew up in a small town called Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And I grew up in the town, but we have the Arts family wheat farm just outside of Weyburn. So yeah, I kind of spent a lot of time in the city, but also out at the farm during summers.
There's been a kind of a resurgence of Canadians coming down to do country music in Nashville. Are you friends with all those guys, like High Valley and all them?
I'm friends with a lot of Canadians, and it's kind of funny. We joke that we all come to Nashville to write with Canadians because we all find each other for some reason.
Well, I guess that's just natural in the way humans relate, I guess.
Yeah.
Go in and hang out with the people that they're used to and comfortable with. So you started singing when you were young, as Lee said, somebody heard you, right, in the yard and encouraged you to take music lessons. So tell us about that story.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was just, I was singing in my backyard and belting it out, a Shania Twain song, and my neighbor overheard me and told my mom that she thought I had a good voice, and my mom luckily ran with that, and she put me in voice lessons, and so I sang classical music. I trained classically for 10 years, from age 8 to 18, but in there, I just loved country music, and I always wanted to sing country, so I started learning guitar when I was about 14 and made my first trip to Nashville when I was 15.
Do you remember any of the artists you saw in Nashville when you visited? Did you go to Ryman? Did you go to Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah, we went to like as many places as we could. It was so different when I first started going there because I was actually in a duo. So we were just kind of like working together, and I didn't get to see a lot of Nashville until, I was about 19 or 20 years old.
And now you live there?
Yeah, now I live there.
And that's really an important thing for artists that want to do country music. First thing you should tell them is move to Nashville.
Yeah, I know. I convince a lot of people to move there because it's just, that's the heart of country music, and that's where all of the songwriters are. And to me, the songs are the most important thing. So I think it's really important to be in Nashville and be a part of that community there.
So let's talk a little bit about some recent history here. So I saw the episode when you were on The Bachelor. That was interesting. That
was a lot of fun. I was actually on The Bachelor a year ago as well, before I signed with Reviver Records, and it was just an independent thing that my manager set up, and I got to do that, and then it led to signing with Reviver, and then this year it was like another level.
So you guys familiar with The Bachelor? You guys watch the show? So she's performing for a date night for Colton and Elise?
Yes. Yeah, I'm proud of you. You know that.
And what was happening while you were singing?
Well, they were making out the entire time.
Like right in front of you?
Right in front of me, yeah. And I didn't know where to look because I always forget to ask, like, should I look at the camera or should I just, look like I'm performing? And yeah, it's very awkward. Like if you lock eyes with them or like something.
Wait, so they were like snogging and looking at you?
Yeah, but like they would like stop for a second and look at me, and I'd like lock eyes with Colton and be like, this is weird. I don't know what to do.
Welcome to show business.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about how people can get your music and how it's available.
Yeah, well I've released, before signing with Reviver, I released an album called Rebel Child, and that's available everywhere, streaming and iTunes and everywhere like that. And then I've got a few singles released as well, as my new single, I Hate This, is available as well.
And she's one of the 2019 artists to watch, and we have her here. We're lucky and fortunate to have Tenille. So let's take a second and then we'll be ready to close, okay? All right, good to have you here. It's 92.5 XTU.